Good evening, everyone. Red tide toxins do have an effect on your health. It can cause you to cough, sneeze, even get teary-eyed, and if it's bad enough, you could end up at TGH using a machine like this to test your breathing. People with persistent breathing problems like COPD and asthma are at a greater risk. It's an arresting sight, the effects of red tide on sea life. Dead fish littering the shores. For those living around it or always at the beach, you know the smell can be overwhelming too.
It's a chemical that has a reaction in the lungs.
Dr. Richard Lockey told me today red tide is a natural occurrence that's been happening for many years.
The red tide algae comes to the surface, has a bladder in it. The bladder ruptures it, releases into the air along the beach some toxins.
And that, he says, causes us to cough.
It's a chemical that has a reaction in the lungs. It produces a certain reaction in the cough mechanism that makes you cough.
And sneezing as well. For most people, it doesn't last long unless you have chronic respiratory issues like asthma. Then it can be bad.
We tell patients with asthma to take their medications with them. If they start coughing, use their medications. Or we may adjust their medications to compensate for the red tide toxin.
And if you do have a persistent breathing problem like asthma, COPD, the best advice is just try to avoid those areas that are impacted by red tide. For everyone else, if you do have a problem and those problems persist, seek immediate attention at a hospital. In Tampa, at Tampa General Hospital, Rod Carter, News Channel 8.